Did Jesus come in the lifetime of the Thessalonians and give the Thessalonians relief from the persecution that they were at that time experiencing? Yes or no? If you answered no, Jesus didn't come in the lifetime of the Thessalonians and he didn't give them relief from their persecution, this means that Paul made a false prediction. Go to the text right now, if you would, and read the inspired text again. And ask yourself the basic questions one more time. Was Paul writing to the first century church at Thessalonica? Sure he was. Were they being persecuted at that time? Yes, they were. Did Paul promise them relief from that persecution? No doubt about it. Did he say that relief would come when the Lord Jesus is revealed from heaven? He most assuredly did. Do you see the problem clearly now? The problem is real and very serious. If you are like me and believe in the inspiration of Scripture and the deity of Jesus, you cannot accept that Jesus' own apostle was mistaken, misguided, or wrong in his predictions. I believe Paul was inspired by the Holy Spirit to write what he did. Don't you? So how do we solve this problem? If Paul was writing to living Christians, and he was, and if those Christians were being persecuted, and they were, and if Paul promised those living Christians relief from that persecution, and he did, and if Paul promised those living Christians relief from that persecution when the Lord Jesus is revealed from heaven, and he did, then if Jesus did not come in the lifetime of those living Christians and give them relief from that persecution as promised by Paul, then Paul lied to them and gave them a false hope. His prediction failed, and he is guilty of being a false prophet. That is the problem of the text, and it is unavoidable. There is really no doubt about what Paul said. So was he wrong? No, he wasn't. The problem is modern preachers. The problem is not allowing to understand the background for what Paul is saying.